Hello everybody, this is Alessandra. Welcome to my home, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making delicious chicken cacciatore bianco. No sauce. It's delicious. Go ahead and make some white rice because it'll go really well, or some penne pasta, it'll be delicious. But let's get started with these ingredients. As you can see, my brain is already going ahead because I'm hungry and I'm thinking of the final product, but we have a little work to do. Okay, so right here are the ingredients. I have extra virgin olive oil, 2 onions that are chopped, 2 small stalks of celery that's chopped, 2 small carrots, 2 that are chopped. I have 2 cloves of garlic that I will chop as I'm cooking. Beautiful, fresh rosemary from the garden. It really adds delicious flavor. And about 10 ounces of white mushrooms. You could use baby bellas. I had white mushrooms and that's what we're using. A cup of white wine, salt and pepper, and I have 6 pieces of organic chicken. I'm going to talk about the chicken a little bit. I went ahead and I washed the chicken, the first thing, and the second thing I like to do is to pat it dry and then trim it. You see, this is what they do. They hide the extra fat underneath it. So I like to cut that extra fat, and also along the thigh there's always that little fat that just hangs there, and I don't like it, so I do like to trim. Now in the kitchen, very important to have good knives, but also what's very important is a good pair of scissors. Most stores have them. They're not very expensive. I think this was about $10, $12. It's a great way to cut a lot of stuff. Even pizza, when the girls were little, I would take a piece of pizza and make small pieces, and I use the scissor. It's a very common thing to do in Italy, that we use the scissors instead of the knives in the kitchen. Okay, so it's beautifully trimmed. All the pieces are, and just let me wash my hand. Actually, no, I'm not gonna wash my hands yet because I want to put some salt on it. This was the hand I used to trim the chicken. This one was holding. Okay, so I'm gonna just sprinkle some salt on it. You know what? I need the pepper. I need to wash my hands. Crush the fresh cracked pepper right on it. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is just get all sides salted and peppered. Okay, now meet me by the stove and let's get started. In a large saute pan, I'm going to put the heat on medium, okay? Now the next thing I'm going to do is add the oil. You don't want too much oil because don't forget that the chicken has a skin on, so it's going to release some oil. I'm going to say I probably put about 3 tablespoons, even that. Make sure that it's nicely coating the bottom of the pan, and just bring it up to temperature where it's nice and hot. You know what? I'm going to go a little bit higher, medium high, because what you want to do is sear the chicken. I always like to sear the chicken. It seals in the juices, it creates flavor on the skin, so that's the way to do it. So that's the first step. So let's bring it up with the heat, and we'll do that. Okay, the thighs skin side down. Let's get them into the frying pan. The legs is a little different, the skin all around. Okay, make sure now your flame is on high, because as you add the pieces, the temperature goes down, and then it doesn't create a nice seal. Let's turn the pieces. Perfect. Okay, let it continue searing on the other side. And what I'm going to do now is add my onions. Even the sound changes because now you added more things in it, so the frying goes down a little bit. So keep your heat on high still and just let it continue cooking. Going to add the celery too. And now as that's sweating, what I'm going to do is chop my garlic right in. Just make little slits on top of the garlic like this. Take a look. See that with your knife? And then just go across. Look at that. It's like mincing it. I don't remember my grandmother having a cutting board. Everything was done over the stove like this. That I do remember. Come closer. I want you to take a look at what's going on. See that? The onions and celery is sweating nicely. And you see all that browning? That's all flavor. I feel comfortable now to add my carrots too. The carrots are going to give it the color and the sweetness. So it really is a good addition. I want to talk about a little bit cacciatore. Cacciatore is a hunter. Am I saying the H? I think so. A hunter. So a cacciatore recipe could be all different types. I guess the hunter had a lot of wives, or different cacciatores from different regions have their own twist on this delicious dish. I also, in my area of Italy, Naples, it's very common with tomato sauce. But this too, we love making, when you have a lot of onions, the celery, the carrots, it's almost like a genovese. That's also a video that's on my YouTube channel. And also this is very well made with rabbit too. I know it's not customary to eat rabbit, but for the ones that do, you could definitely use the same recipe. Look at that. Look at the beautiful coloring of it. Now, I'm going to add the wine and let it evaporate. This is magical. Look at that. Oh. The cup of wine really does. Make sure you scrape the bottom. That's where all the flavor is going to get released in your cacciatore. Wine has evaporated. I'm going to add the mushrooms. These were about 10 ounces of mushrooms. And now you could add a little bit of chicken stock so it all cooks together, but I'm just going to add some water. I'm going to add about half a cup of the water. Okay, and let's not forget the rosemary. This is what you do. You hold it from the top to the bottom and you just pull along and all the needles come off. A little bit more. Okay, now as I'm doing this, it all came, you see it's cooking. So now it's safe to lower your flame. And you lower the flame, put the lid on it, and we'll check back in a little bit. 15 minutes have passed. Let's take a look. Wow. It's looking great, but it's not cooked yet. Okay, it's looking fabulous. Look at that. Almost ready. 5 more minutes. Let's adjust the salt. Yes, you do need a little bit more salt. So I'm just going to sprinkle some on. Some fresh cracked black pepper. And I am going to just let it cook 5 more minutes and then let it sit for 5 more. Okay, I want to show you, I left the last 5 minutes with the lid off because you see what you want? You want that creaminess. So I let most of the water evaporate and that's what you want to be left with. We are ready now for dinner. Meet me by the table. Okay, made some stuffed mushroom stew. Recipe will be linked on this video. If you just look up on my channel, the stuffed mushrooms, they're right here. Look at this. because I made them yesterday and we ate them and one of my daughters didn't get them and I felt bad, so I made them again. That's the true story. Okay, so getting dinner ready, getting it all together. I made some white rice and I'm going to plate myself. I want a thigh because that's the piece I like. And I'm just gonna add it right here in the middle on top of the rice. I'm gonna add some of the reduced juice like that. And let's not forget, beautiful sprig of rosemary. Ecco qua, finito. Pollo alla cacciatora in bianco with mushrooms. Cacciatore chicken white with mushrooms. Thank you for watching. Starving. Please subscribe, hit the bell button. A lot of new recipes coming up. Stay well, be safe. Ci vediamo alla prossima. Arrivederci. Ciao ciao.